Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we got another episode of reviewing NHL teams offseason so far, as today we got the St. Louis Blues ahead of us, as we're going to be talking about their pretty good offseason. I really enjoyed what the St. Louis Blues did throughout their offseason, picking up Pavel Buchnevich, who I absolutely love as a move. Also getting Brandon Saad, re-signing Colton Parayko, and honestly having a pretty decent team. I think the only thing they weren't able to find was a backup goalie. But before I get into this, I like to just say, if you are new to the channel, make sure to slap that subscribe button and hit that subscribe button as well. I think I said both of them at the same time, but hit the subscribe button and like button. You know the routine, ladies and gentlemen. That'll be very much appreciated. So let's get into this puppy here with the Blues, and talk about what they did over there, this past offseason, and get right into it, because I don't want to waste any time. We already kind of, give a summarization of what they did, and that's basically what they did. They had some drama with Tarasenko, of course, but, they brought in Buchnevich and Saad, and those were the two biggest players that they brought in, and I absolutely love both of them. So let's get right into the trades. And the first one right up is Pavel Buchnevich. And I'll go into a little bit why I really love this move. First of all, you're only, having to trade away Sammy Blah, which, wasn't really, a big player for the St. Louis Blues. It was a depth forward, any second round pick for Pavel Buchnevich, who I think potentially could be a 30 goal scorer here very soon. He was almost a point per game this past season with 48 points in 54 games, and the New York Rangers gave him up for free, which is just absolutely insane. So before I show you guys his analytics, because we're going to be taking a look at his player card made by Jfresh, so make sure to go check this man's out. His link will be down in the description below for his Patreon. Make sure to go check him out, and here it is for his card. And I gotta say, absolutely amazing. Great two-way game. He's good at finishing. This is a potential guy that could be a killer forward for the St. Louis Blues. And, even at the time, I was thinking this is a guy that could replace Vladimir Tarasenko if they do end up trading him. I mean, right now they haven't yet, but this could be a potential replacement for Tarasenko, which is just great to have a replacement all ready to go for Tarasenko. If, Tarasenko doesn't want to play or, gets traded away, then you have Pavel Buchnevich, and who is a guy that could play a great two-way game at that. And it was an absolute steal. You only had to trade away second round pick and Sammy Blah. And you already had some nice cheap, nice tough forwards down in the depths, so it really didn't matter. And I absolutely loved the move. It was absolutely amazing. And this one here was a little bit of a head scratcher. I really don't know why they traded away Zach Sanford. Now, I do know why. It was because of salary cap concerns. They wanted to get, under the cap. So they had to trade away Zachary Sanford, which they did sign him. And then they had to dump him off. But, they picked up Logan Brown, who I think is making like $750,000 or something like that this year. And it makes $100,000 in the minors. So it kind of fits very well for their salary cap. So in the picture of this deal, it fits very well for their salary cap. But looking at value, it really doesn't match up. Logan Brown has not been, a good player over the past couple of years. Like how he was going to be a big burly power forward coming into the league. And he just has not been that. He has not figured himself out in the league. They did get a 2022 conditional fourth round pick, which they'll most likely get. But, I mean, it's an all right deal. But you definitely lost a very good left winger who played great defensively, was a perfect depth, player for the St. Louis Blues. And they just traded him off for Logan Brown, who might turn out to be something good, but really hasn't for the Ottawa Senators. He hasn't even been able to find himself in the roster over the past few years, and plays all right in the AHL. So we'll have to see how he pans out there for the Ottawa Senators. So we'll move on towards the draft. The draft for the St. Louis Blues was all right. They did have a first-round pick, which was a pretty high first-round pick, which I think is the funniest thing ever. That's their highest ever first-round pick ever, which is just absolutely insane. But anyways, Zachary Bolduc, good-looking center, might be something for the future for the St. Louis Blues. Looks pretty good. Simon Robertson, I heard some good stuff about him too. But not a bad draft for the St. Louis Blues. You made some, nice picks. Ivan Borovayev, we heard him from the, what was the series? Was it the Russian-only series that I made? Anyways, it was for NHL 21. But anyways, pretty good prospect picking here for the St. Louis Blues. And I like what they did in the draft. You know, they didn't have a lot of picks, but they made some good picks with the picks that they had. And then moving on towards free agency. So the only players they really lost in free agency was James Schwartz, who he went off to the Seattle Kraken, and Mike Hoffman, who was basically just a power play specialist, and that was really it for the St. Louis Blues. So that wasn't really anything of a loss to lose out on Mike Hoffman, but they brought in guys that were great replacements for him. They got Pavel Buchnevich. They re-signed him to a $5.8 million deal for the next 4 years, which is an absolute steal. I think for Pavel Buchnevich, he probably could have made up words of maybe around $7 million if he really wanted to, but he took the cheaper option, $5.8 million for him, which is an absolute amazing deal for him. Brandon Saad, 5 years at $4.5 million. This is a great, 5-on-5 goal scorer for the St. Louis Blues. He played pretty good in Colorado. He scores a lot of goals. This is what the St. Louis Blues need, is another goal scorer like him. He fits the team, maybe a little bit too much on the term, but still, if he's able to keep him at this self, he's only 28 years old, so he'll be 30, it's 5 years. I'm bad at math, so 33, I think that's not even that bad. 33 years old, that's not bad. Yeah, 33 years old. I'm good at math, I guess. I'm probably got it wrong, but who knows. But a good deal for Brandon Saad. Not bad term. Really good AAV. So even if, near the later half of this contract, he does start going downhill, it's not a big contract that's going to hinder your team. Ivan Barbashev, this is kind of an move because he hasn't really been himself over the past 2 years, really hasn't brought a whole lot of offense than what he was expected, and doesn't really play that well defensively either. So he signs another 2 years, $2.25 million. Maybe it was a little too much for him, but maybe this is like a prove it. We're giving you the money to go improve yourself and show us that you're a good player or not, or we'll just, not have you on the team anymore. Who knows? Jordan Kyrou, this is one other player that I absolutely love for the St. Louis Blues. He absolutely exploded this past season, posting up 35 points. Absolutely enjoyed his play. He got a 2 years, $2.8 million contract, and then, of course, the Sanford one. And then Colton Parayko got locked up for 8 years at 6.5. He hasn't really been too great the last 2 seasons for the St. Louis Blues. Of course, he's been dealing with some injuries, and that's kind of hindered his play over the past 2 years. But I think, once you get back to the healthy Colton Parayko and he gets back into that great form that we all know he can, this is a great defenseman for the St. Louis Blues, and it is a pretty good damn contract at that as well. 6.5 for the next 8 years. You basically got the man locked up for the next 9. So an amazing deal. He's your best defenseman on the team right now. Why not lock up that really strong right-handed guy? And, it's hard to find good right-handed defensemen in the league like Colton Parayko, who could play very well defensively while also dishing some offense. His numbers haven't been too beautiful the last 2 years, of course, but he's still a nice, good defensive defenseman, and I think is a good signing there for Colton Parayko as well. And then Tyler Bozak for a nice depth signing, and Robert Thomas, he just got signed a while ago to a 2-year, $2.8 million deal, which I think is a steal for Robert Thomas, like absolute steal for that man. So good signings all around here for the St. Louis Blues. I really enjoyed what they did. We'll take a look at their depth charts now for the team, and honestly, lots of good stuff to already see with this roster from compared to last year. They got really good top 6 coming into this year. They don't got Mike Hoffman. They're not missing Tarasenko. So Tarasenko will be the lineup, but not just that, you have Buchnevich, who is a really, really strong right-handed guy for the St. Louis Blues moving forward, whether he's playing up on that top line or on the second line. He's going to be a really strong forward moving forward here for the St. Louis Blues. Brandon Saad was a really good pickup, and he should be able to get maybe around 14-15 minutes of ice time like how he was in Colorado. And then nice depth too. I mean, Robert Thomas is down there with Jordan Kyrou and Ivan Barbashev. We'll see how well those guys will do. And then Kyle Clifford, nice depth as well. Then you look at the defensive core there with Torrey Krug and Falk. Definitely wasn't the greatest defensive core between the both of them, but we'll have to see with Colton Parayko and Marco Scandella. Can Colton Parayko stay healthy this year? That's going to be a big question. And then also, how well will Binnington do this upcoming season? He struggled in the start of the season last year. Didn't do too bad near the ending, but there's a lot of big questions with the St. Louis Blues team. And they're going into, a Metro division where, or an Essential division where there's a decent amount of good teams in this division. You got Winnipeg, Nashville's all right. You got Minnesota, Dallas, Colorado, and Chicago. All these teams are going to be competing for playoff spots. So this top 6 here for the St. Louis Blues has to be lethal. And not just that, their depth, which I think could be Kyrou, Thomas, Barbashev. You got some good depth guys that could take this team to far places. And I'm really excited to see what the St. Louis Blues can do. But for right now, guys, I think I'm going to end the video here. But before I do, I'm going to give this team an A. I love the Buchnevich move. You didn't lose too much. You only lost Schwartz and Hoffman, but you replaced them with Sad and Buchnevich. Signed really good deals with Thomas and Kyrou. Colton Parayko signed a really nice deal. I love absolutely every single one of their deals. But for right now, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Like I said, I gave them an A for their offseason. Tell me, guys, in the comment section below what grade you guys would give them. But for right now, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Adios, amigos.